First, we just hear breathing like someone's running through the forest. We hear them calling out, "Mother? Mother, where are you?" It's a little girl's voice. And then you see her slow as she locks eyes with someone who has emerged in front of her. An older lady, maybe in her late 40s. The little girl asks, "Who are you?" And the lady says, "To you, little one, you may call me Makoba." And with that, we begin our session. This is Legend of the Five Rings, set in Rokugan. It is the 30th year of the reign of Emperor Hantai, the 38th. For 1,000 years, this realm has known peace. The Empire has remained as one. But in recent years, many clan conflicts have emerged, and though the clans are far from at war, the cracks are beginning to show in the Empire. The clans vie for power, each of them, attention of the Emperor to be his greatest, his favorite. And of course, as we all know, despite much disdain from many, the Crane have managed to land that more often than not. And with that, we will begin. We're live with the Topaz Tournament, our very first episode of the Legend of the Five Rings story. There are many different coming-of-age ceremonies, but this one is welcome to all the clans. And for that reason, it is under great scrutiny that guests are chosen by most of their clans, because the contestants who go to this tournament are representing their clan's honor in front of not only the daimyos of many of the great clans, but also the emperor himself in some cases. Tsuma is a quaint little village set in the lands of the Crane. It is known for a great many things, but primarily it is known for its temple to the Seven Fortunes. We pick up on the road to Sumo, and we see Danzo and Kazumaru, our crab, sorry to offend you there, our crab and our falcon, who are traveling together. These are the two representatives chosen by the Crab clan. As you travel together, you find yourselves on the road through Baden Pass. Having to travel, of course, through the treacherous Scorpion lands, it is the fastest way to reach Crane lands.
Sounds awesome. All right. I think walking and ever so often seeing the head of Kazumaru just sort of stop and stare. This is, and Danzo would know this. This is the first time he's gone this far beyond his territory and borders. And so he's just sort of taking it in, and to the point that you know that he's a bit overwhelmed of it all, just like, but sort of remaining silent, following your footsteps and your speed.
Danzo seems to be directly focused towards the path ahead. The sights around him would be secondary details to him. Your proximity, though, to him is always on his mind, although it's more for a feeling of comfort that he has shared some times with you in much worse places than this. And having you at his back gives him a sense of security. Perhaps picking up on a little apprehension, Danzo will Kazumaru, I do not like going away from the wall, but fear not, we shall not see anything more dangerous than what we are used to seeing. These ceremonies and circumstances, tournaments, is all for these insiders. They have not seen the true pain that you and I know.
Danzo, you always speak with wisdom, and I agree. Do the other clans really know how desperate it is in the Shadowlands? Them living their lives, and yet here we are walking away from the wall. And is this truly where we need to be?
I share your disdain for our not abandonment, delay in our duty, but I have come to learn that I can take pride in the fact that many samurai will never know the horrors that we do. And for that, I would say that it is with great pride that we can make this trip, knowing that these people, all who live on the roads along this way, will likely not encounter the horrors of this world.
Absolutely. So, question. There's going to be girls in this tournament, correct? That are not our cousins?
I am not as versed in your Toritaka's lineages to ensure that they will not be relatives to you, but yes, I do believe we can expect some competitors of the fairer sex to be participating.
Yeah, good. I mean, that's okay. And you can see that he's sort of nervous. Do you have much experience talking with them?
In combat, perhaps the same as you in the mines of Shigashi Yamamura, but I mean, I have a couple sisters.
Yeah,
but
fair. Sorry, I'm getting the winds are good today.
With that, folks, we're going to go ahead and get some perception rolls here. You can do hunting, or if you don't have a skill, it's perfectly fine. You can still roll it as if it's skilled. Let me know if you have any questions with your rolls.
Awesome. Kazumaru has hunting, so I guess he'll roll a hunting. Just for memory's sake, what do you type into the Foundry?
So you can do it that way, or if you actually have the skill on your sheet, you can just click the skill. There's a little dice trigger beside it, a little icon you
Perfect.
should see right beside the name. Woo.
There we go.
Okay. And we'll check in on our crab friends, just because we're getting used to dice rolling here. You can do a ring roll would work just fine if you click on the water button, if you don't have a perception skill.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, so something I didn't provide you is samurai don't travel alone unless that's for Ronin. That's for wandering samurai without proper honor and clans. You aren't that. You have an entourage with you. At least the crab do. The falcon friend doesn't, but the crab do in fact have an entourage. So you have a group of servants and men that would help you and aid you, traveling probably just behind you. You know, crab goes first always. So, but as the two of you are wandering up ahead on the road, you see what looks like a little roadside shrine, and you see another entourage. It's a mon and a family, or a mon you're quite familiar with. That is the Scorpion Clan.
How far ahead, roughly?
Oh, yeah.
A few hundred
About
yards?
no, about 300. Yeah, 300 yards. Good. Yep.
I see the Scorpion representative is traveling this path as well.
Oh no. Well, I'll follow your lead, Danzo.
I'm
We
not
just-
sure what Falcon's association with Scorpion has been, but
There was one time I met one in the forest briefly, but I'm sure she's not. That was a long time ago. And you can see he just sort of kind of shrugs it off, but wary, looking up ahead. A little tense.
With that, we'll cut over, and we see Yogo Akari stand from the shrine. For the Shugenja, for many, paying proper rites and homage to the fortunes is never a poor idea, especially for a Shugenja such as Akari. Akari, you have your entourage, and your mother waits patiently beside as you fulfill your priestly duties at the shrine.
After I take a moment, I'll rise and go to her. Bow my head respectfully.
She has her fan out, and she speaks to you softly, and she says, "Oh, look, roadside guests from the Crab Clan."
Indeed. Shall we greet them, Mother?
You should. They will be your competitors, after all.
Very well. And she will stand and make her way over.
Right.
Hmm.
Tone, I'm gonna give you another perception roll. This one, you're just gonna roll. You're gonna go ahead and roll perception itself. What's your water? Yeah, perfect. So just make a ring roll
A ring roll.
on
Okay.
water. Yeah, if you click on
Ooh.
water.
Perfect. Because what are the chances?
What are the
That the person
chances,
is looking-
indeed? You are certain, I think.
Yeah. Gasp a little bit. Danzo would probably hear that. And under his breath, he'll just say, Barrowhawk? And then he'll just sort of puff up his chest a little bit. This is awkward. I know her. But I don't know her. That's who I was talking about in the forest. Anyways, we're getting close. Shh, don't say anything.
She'll make her way over and give a soft smile and bow her head again to both of them in acknowledgement of peers of equal standing. Toritaka-san and Hida-san. We have not yet met, but it is a pleasure. Toritaka-san, it's a pleasure to see you again.
It's a pleasure as well. Forgive me, you have me at a disadvantage. I never did learn your name.
Yogo Akari.
Yogo-san.
Yes. Fine day.
It is. The winds are good. You look well.
As do you.
Are you planning on fighting in this tournament? Or
I plan to bring honor to my clan. Yes.
yes, me too. Yogo-san. Thank you. And then he'll sort of just, this is, and forgive me. And he'll just look at Danzo like, oh,
She'll turn.
There are no need for apologies, Kazumaru. Yoga-san, Akira, it is nice to meet you.
And he'll have reciprocated, of course, with a adequate bow.
You as well, Hida-san. You're both looking well.
thank you. So, read any good books? You like to read, right?
I do my
With
share
that,
of reading.
with that, you hear your mother call, Akira. Akari, rather. Akari. We best
Yes,
be on the
honey.
way. Yeah.
Well,
Mouse.
good to see you. Good to meet you. And I look forward to facing you in the tournament.
Yes, I look forward to facing you as well in the tournament.
And she'll just turn and make her way back over to her mother.
As you start to move back to your entourage, all of a sudden you hear ruffling from the brush nearby, and a wild boar kind of uncharacteristically moves out onto the road. It's sort of startling. This is weird behavior given how many humans are in the immediate area right now.
Yeah.
But it locks eyes with you, Akari, and it lowers its head a bit. Does anyone want to do anything in this moment? I think all three of you would see this.
I would take a step towards the boar.
Hmm.
Not aggressively, but more of that, posture up.
Mm-hmm. Do you have intimidation?
I do.
All right. I want you to give me an intimidation roll. The boar sort of looks at the big Hida. How tall are you?
He's between 6'1", 6'2".
Very, very large for a man in Rokugan. He pauses. The boar sort of starts to show some submissive, or at least passive responses to you coming up to it with a threat. Do you have your Tetsubo in your hand, by the way?
I only have a daisho. I don't know if that was intended.
Okay. No,
somehow.
you would have your Tetsubo as well. Yeah.
About that.
Okay.
Then no, it would still be mounted on my back, but I would say he's got an arm
Yeah.
as part of the posturing.
It
Would-
recognizes the threat and it starts to kind of cower backwards.
Hmm.
And
I was
will
gonna
exit
ask-
or-
The weapons, like on the weapons, I have a katana. Is that something that I would have, or something that I will be received later?
You would have your katanas with you, unless you want to do the super formal thing and have someone carry it for you. But they would all be peace tied because you're forbidden from using it until you become of age. The only reason you would carry it on you right now is because you're about to go to a ceremony to come of age. So it might be just pragmatic that you carry your own. Someone like the doji, however, might in fact have servant that carries it very ceremoniously in front of that sort of thing.
Right, fair. In that case, perhaps maybe it is not proper to be ready with a samurai sword, like with a katana, in order to strike if this boar were to attack. Is unless what would be the proper protocol there, or would I roll on that?
Etiquette, actually, if you have it.
Yep.
And that would okay. Oh, you do. Okay.
All right. Am I like exploding? Like, wow, 21. Is that good?
Yeah, it's good. The base is usually for something relatively normal. It's like 15 for the first level of hard's 20. So you would know that it would probably be proper not to break the peace tie.
Very good. Yeah. Hands off.
Not unless true threat, and you're not quite there given it's backing off. It seems like so.
Very good.
All right. With that, we're going to change scenes. From the road of Odosan Uchi through the West Hub, we see Yuna and Mayami traveling. The Phoenix and the Crane. Odosan Uchi, by the way, is the capital city, the place where the emperor is seated. It is through business or travel means where you departed from. You have not with you just the two of you, but another contestant, Shiba Sukune. You have both the Phoenix entourage and the Crane entourage as well. We'll pick up the scene with the two of you and Shiba Sukune.
Doji-san. Do you think
Yes.
I mean, he's part of my clan. They are truly someone I must respect. But how do you tune out? Do you have any way to give me some tips on how to tune out? How many times he's talked about cleaving his sword?
I'm gonna quick edit. It's a she, but all the rest remains. Continue. You're good.
Her
You're
sword.
good.
Her sword.
Yeah.
Sorry. Got it. Her sword. She keeps.
I'm
I fear she might be. Oh, yes. I fear she has talked about it at least 100 times.
I wasn't paying attention to them actually. You were?
Uh,
It's so dull.
They are my clan's highest priority at this point. So, yes, I am trying to find ways in terms of the etiquette that I'm not well versed in, to tune them out. So, to be direct.
Well, focus on what's important to you. Like, you know, anything that's below you is below you, and you needn't pay attention to it. Focus instead on the blossoms around you, or if you can fold a nice piece of paper into a beautiful work of art, write a poem in your head.
At this point, you hear the footsteps as Sakune gets within walking distance of the two of you, and her eyes lock on Yuna and Doji-san. I've consulted. I've consulted many on this, but I know your clan is well known for the Kakitabushi, and well, you do seem to favor aesthetics. When I look at my reflection in my blade, I see myself, but I'm but a simple, dull picture. I was hoping to
Yes.
see a proper reflection, one that shows all my features. Not to be vain, but instead to make sure that I've done my part if I am to make it into the tournament and wield this in Ijutsu. It's important for me to show my best.
Well, I'm sure we could fix you up when we get to our destination. A little bit of a trim, some color in your cheeks. Oh, but it is... Well, we have some work to do. But happy work it would be.
She nods. Right. I'll do whatever is necessary. And with that, you kind of look back and you realize just how close you are to Tsuma. You can see the rather massive temple to the kami, to the Seven Forges, rather. And I think for purposes of having any familiarity here, Yuna, you've probably traveled through here reluctantly once or twice, but there's really not much here outside of going to the Topaz tournament. As far as Miami, I think you have never been here before. There's little reason to be here outside of the Topaz tournament. And you can both see up ahead. A figure stands on the road. They are alone. They have gray hair. They definitely have like a fine kimono, one a samurai would wear. You can see the daisho on their hip. But they look more like let's just say like a grandfather's build. They're skinny except for a slight hump in the belly. They have long dark hair, and they look really pleasant as they kind of just sit here waiting.
Would I recognize them?
Maybe. We should get you both to roll. It is your clan unit, so I will give you a free raise, which means the difficulty goes down by 5. And for this, probably the most appropriate thing, because heraldry isn't really present, would be courtier. So if either of you have courtier as a skill, you may go ahead and roll it. If you don't have it as a skill, you can still make an awareness test.
Right. And I think I have to ask for a raise.
Sorry? What do you mean by ask for?
Due to the disadvantage that I have.
Okay. So that'll
Anytime
just...
I make
What's the disadvantage, sorry?
anytime I make a skill or spellcasting roll, I have to call for an extra raise for no effect, or it automatically fails.
Right, perfect. Yes, you do. So that free raise is discarded, basically, is how that works. So,
Okay.
yeah. And for those that are curious, raising is effectively creating a higher difficulty for a better outcome. So you can raise to get more quality, but at the cost of less chance of success. Yeah, I don't think you're going to struggle with 32. You do, in fact, know this man, mostly by reputation, but you've met him a few times when you were a child. He is known as the Gray Crane. He is the best friend of the Emerald Champion. He is Kakira Toshimoko. He is effectively the master duelist of the Kakita Bushi school.
Kokiro Toshimoko?
Kakita of the crane.
Got you, Kakita, right. And how far away did you say we were?
A couple 100 yards. Like you can see them on, they seem to be standing on the road as you're entering town from the east.
Well, once we get within range, Yuna will do a formal bow to him.
He smiles and he bows. You notice he has no retinue with him whatsoever. A sign of confidence, that sort of thing would suggest. Doji-san? Phoenix-san?
Mayumi will quickly. She's not sure what Shiba-san is doing, but she's going to follow along with her, what she considers are her betters, and she's going to bow as well, looking around furtively. And then we'll just wait until the conversation passes through. She will take into heart what Doji-san said regarding looking at the flowers along the road, so as to drown out any of the conversation that her champion is talking about, because she has no interest in learning how to take care of one's aesthetics or swords.
How auspicious it is to be greeted by you.
Well, I thought with you traveling this way from Odasan Uchi, I received message that you would be here, and I thought a proper invitation for the two of you was most required. For the three of you. He looks surprised. He looks like he wasn't aware of Sukune. Well,
Yuna gives her best smile.
Shall we? With that, he'll stand at like point of honor guard. And when he does that, and you can see that Sukune kind of shuffles forward to act like you were honor guard, even though her sword is peace tied right now, but she's acting like you're Yojimbo or your bodyguard right now. And as you continue in, you see the massive shrine. It's a quite standout for such a small little village full of, a tiny market, fishing and farming. It's really nothing to write home about, but it is beautiful. That is the one thing it has. If you like the countryside, this is a picturesque countryside. All right. We're going to continue on. We cut over to our last group entering. From Shiromatsu, we have Kazumi and Takeshi. The dragon and the lion. Not a pairing you usually see spending a lot of time together. But advantageously, the two of you are heading from the northwest to Tsuma. So the road has made it fortuitous for the two of you to sync up in the Matsu lands, the Matsu of the Lion Clan. I'm going to quickly add a few other points. There is alongside you, there is an NPC, Matsu Chiharu. She is a young brazen Matsu, which is a way of saying Matsu Matsu. They are all known to pretty much, that is their stereotype, and few avoided such things. They are a matriarchal family of the Lion Clan, and in recent years, they've kind of been seen as, more prominent as representatives of the Lion than even the Kodo, after the last Lion Clan champion met his end in a conflict with the Crane. That embarrassment put the Matsu further up the pedestal. So there is a lion entourage between the two lion representatives, which is quite obvious and probably matches what we saw with the Crane entourage as far as size and quality. And for the dragon, I wish to know, do you have any entourage at all? You can't have a big one, but would you have
I think I'd have like maybe no more than 5, I reckon. Like a really small entourage.
Yeah. And probably a rather eccentric crew. Yeah. So they look more the way of monks. Many of them are dressed in more simple kimonos. It doesn't look like they're favoring the ceremonial side of this ahead, and some would look down on such things. All right, and with that, we'll begin as the Shiromatsu group begins to enter in.
I am really excited about this. I'm like really excited. We get to show our opportunity, show how good we are. It's going to be amazing. What do you think?
Yes, quite, Miramoto-san. This will be quite the event.
Yeah, there's going to be so many cool people here. Who do you think will take the top?
Well, if I have any say of it, it will be one of the Lion Clan. Is that
Yeah,
not so?
I would agree, Akoto-san. It will most likely be me, and if not me, it will be you, Akoto-san.
Indeed.
Yeah, but you're kind of biased. Apart from you guys. All right, let's rephrase the question a little bit. Apart from you guys, who do you think will come second?
Not the Crane.
That is for sure. The Clan Crab,
Yeah, but that...
although their distaste for these types of ceremonies are sure to put forth a fine champion.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. You're probably right.
And at that point, Matsu Chiharu says, "We have company," and she's looking backwards. You turn to see a lone rider on a horse. But this is no ordinary pony from the lands of Rokugan. This is one of the unicorn war horses, and on mount is enter Motobatu. You are catching up, friend, because you are not welcome in the unicorn entourage. You are not chosen from the unicorn. You were strangely offered this opportunity through the kindness of the Lion Clan champion, the strange, enigmatic Tagashi Yakune.
Wait, I thought it was a dragon champion.
Lion? Dragon. Sorry, that was my bad.
He will ride his horse faster now, knowing, like, seeing the entourage. But there's no weapons in his hands. There's nothing. He will ride up to the rest of them. This guy is pretty big. He stands at 6'3", and he is on a Unicorn Clan horse. But he has a pretty big smile on his face. And he looks at the rest of them, and I was like, I'm not so certain about these formalities. How does this go? I am Batu. Hello, from the Moto clan.
You've heard of him, Dragon. You've heard of this strange Batu that was chosen from the unicorn.
I'm glad you managed to catch up, Butcher. Wasn't expecting to
thank
see you.
Well, I was expecting to just stay out in the plains. But you must be...
I'm sorry. Slips our mind sometimes. Miramoto Kazumi, at your service. He
Right!
gives you a bow.
He'll give a little curtsy and extend his hand down from his horse.
Where is your entourage, Unicorn-san? Matsu Chiharu says.
Was I supposed to bring one? Probably coming up behind me at some point. I just ride so hard and fast.
Right.
I see. Moto-san, was it?
Just Batu. It's fine.
With that, Takashi kind of wrinkles his nose a little. I am Akodo Takashi. It is a pleasure to meet one of the Unicorn Clan.
Ah, yes, I've heard of you. It's also a pleasure to meet you. He'll give another courtesy and extend the hand at Takeshi, kind of like throwing a sideways glance at Kazumi since he didn't take his hand.
I think as you hold your hand out, Takashi bows a little and then kind of realizes that you've changed it, and he quickly shifts to take your hand.
Do you accept his Gaijin greeting?
Oh, that's actually a good question. Backtrack. He bows and then kind of looks at his hand with confusion. And then he kind of straightens back up and he goes, "Indeed. Pleasure to meet you, Moto-san."
Right. He'll retreat his hand. I have miraculously made it this far. Would you mind if I join you all? I hope I don't insult anyone.
Of course not, Moro-san. I am Matsu Chiharu. It is a pleasure. You are the first Moto I have ever met. And though the Moto have left the Burning Sands, I see that the Burning Sands have not left the Moto.
It runs in our blood. And he'll extend a hand to Matsu as well.
She bows and ignores the hand offer, and she turns, and we follow this group as we move to our next scene. Give me 1 sec for our scene change. I'm going to change the music now. Right. As you enter into Suma, you can see a fairly bustling market. It looks like a lot of people have come here, probably specifically for the tournament. You can see boats at the docks even. It looks like there have been some that have traveled by the river. As you move towards the town, you make it to a point where you see mons that would suggest, or signs rather, that would suggest where you are to go from here. And as we move into this, you stand in a line of folks that are receiving their room assignments. This scene will include, briefly, Mayami and Yuna, as Kasumi, Takeshi, and Batu approach. Before we do this, I want to figure out some room assignments for the first group that moved ahead. Rie, left or right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Okay. And Tone, left or right?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go left.
And finally, Cleansing Rain, left or right?
Left as well.
Or note, just as this is a bit off screen, we have our Falcon and Crab friend are both assigned to the House of the Laughing Carp. That will be the tea house and inn that you'll be assigned. For our Yogo Shugenja, you are assigned to the House of the Red Lotus. But we'll cut back to you folks in a second for that. Okay. As we zero in on this scene, we have Toshimoko with Yuna and Mayami and Tsukume. So Toshimoko leads the two of you up to what looks like a crane. You can see the mon of the Kakita family. Very obvious it's Kakita because most of the people here, these are Kakita lands. So you've seen this mon over and over and over as you've traveled through it. With this, you see the Kakita bow. He's dressed in diplomatic clothes. He looks about your age. And he says, Phoenix-san, he looks to you, Mayami. And with that, he hands you your arrangements. Please give me a left or right.
Let's go to left. Let's go left.
Okay. As you open up your arrangements, you see that you have been assigned to the House of the Red Lotus. And then the Kakita turns to Yuna. Right, left or right, Rebecca?
Left.
You've been assigned to the Laughing Carp. Please make note of these folks for those who've received such things. Okay. Toshimoku says, where are my manners? This is Kakito Ichiro, my son. And he bows to you.
Yuna bows deeply as well. A pleasure. Doji Yuna.
He
She
bows
bows her
back.
head.
Sukune, you hear her protest. She says, the Red Lotus. It sounds like a scorpion holding. Very well.
Mayumi is going to quickly cough very politely, as she is taught, towards Sukune and go, I'm pretty certain the logics are going to be fabulous. Yes. We will not complain about our logics from our generous hosts.
Right. All right. And with that, in enters Kazumi, Takeshi, and Batu.
More of them.
Wow, this town really is amazing. Nothing like back at home. Everything's so relaxed in a way.
It's all just there. Where can I just bring up my yurt?
Are you inquiring with someone?
Yeah, whoever seems like.
Yeah, there are servants, and they'll quickly come to assist you because you're one of the people. So anything you need, the servants will look after that. And with that, I'm curious if anyone has courtier rather, Kazumi, Takeshi, or Batu. You can roll to see if you know the Grey Crane by his reputation.
Do not have courtier.
You can take a unskilled roll, which means you can't explode on it, of awareness. You can test your awareness.
Well, do that.
And if might be the easiest way, know what your awareness is and just type that many. Oh, did you figure it out, Mark, on the sheet?
Yeah.
Oh, you both did. Yeah, but you not only do you not know, you clearly don't care with a 4. You
Where's the space
couldn't
for
care
yurt?
less. Yeah, exactly. Kazumi, you can tell that there's something important about the man, but you're not certain who he is. You can tell that about his stature and the way he stands. Takeshi, you've heard of the Grey Crane. He is a legend at dueling.
And this was Katia?
Toshimoku. Kakita Toshimoku.
Kakita Tokumasho. I think with that, Takashi would step forward and would bow and would say, Kakita-san, it is a pleasure to meet the Great Crane.
Those are kind words, Akoto-san.
I do them on behalf of my clan.
Of course. Yuna, how would you like to see the dueling academy? The dojo.
You would do me great honor by letting me see it. I'm sure it is as wonderful as I've heard.
With that, he nods and he offers a bow to everyone there. Just a simple head nod. He is of slightly higher station, just through status. And with that, he will continue on with Yuna. And we move then to first up for their lodging, which will be Kazumi in this case.
Give me a right, please.
Right. Okay. How? Nope. That's correct. I forget the two names. I apologize. House of the Red Lotus, sir. And we go to our Kodo friend next. Takeshi.
The lion is the right hand of the Emperor. I shall take the right.
House of the Red Lotus. Okay. We will move next. So just before Batu is up, after dealing with the slow servants to getting to helping him with his yurt, the just as you're about to step up, in ride Unicorn. Two of them. You see your clansmen, specifically two samurai ko, or female samurai, as it were. Just grabbing their names. You see Shinjo Haruko and Utaku Midori as they enter. Both of them have their entourage is all on horse because that's how the unicorn move. And they sort of do that posturing, circling thing that you see the Rohirrim do before they, the two ride forward and almost kind of cut Batu off. But both of them turn to look at Batu. Moro-san?
He won't say anything. He'll just give him the curtsy.
The two of them receive their lodgings, and then they carry on. It was, for those that witnessed that was a very cold greeting from a fellow clansman. All right. Batu, left or right?
Everyone went left, so I will go right.
Okay. You are at the Laughing Carp. And with that, before we go to our next set of scenes, we're just going to give everyone a chance to have a little bit of a break. So bear with us. We're going to go for 5 minutes, and then we'll be back for more. See you soon.
Thank you.
Right, and we're back from break. Welcome. We're about to do part 2 of tonight. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut next to anyone who wants to go to the Temple of Seven Fortunes next. This would be a common stop for the Shigenja for sure. So our Phoenix-san and Scorpion-san, you would almost guaranteeingly be there, though I won't force you ever to be in a scene. Anyone else?
Miyamoto want to. Yeah, Miyamoto.
Awesome. Okay. Anyone else? The other alternative, I'll give the alternative. The other alternative will be the dojo. So that'll be the scene beside this one.
Yeah, I think Yuna was already being led to the dojo.
Yep. That's perfect. So we'll have 5 in the upcoming scene and 3 in this scene. Is that fair? All right. Okay, so begin.
Miami will walk through the steps of wherever the shrine temple is with Shiba by their side. And during this moment, while they're away from any prying ears, Mayumi will drop off and will turn to Shiba and say, do hope you do not take offense of me speaking so much about your sword obsession. I do apologize that. In the meantime, what is your take of those we have traveled so far with?
Well, I would say that the Doji-san seems conceited, but that's to be expected from the crane. I haven't really paid too much attention beyond that. You were saying something about my sword.
Here, I think your style of fighting is to be commended, and you do speak quite a bit about your sword. There are
It's my
other
honor, after all.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful, and it is to be respected as the pride of the Shiba clan, of the Shiba family. And I am so honored that you are my Yujimbo. I would like to speak of other topics outside of sword care. As you know, I do bear 2 of the family sword, the Asako clan, and I myself must take care of these weapons with my life. However, there's only so much I can take, so to speak, if you don't mind me speaking informally.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. No, no matter how you look at it, our steel does not have to be oiled every 30 minutes.
I will consider your words.
Your
Asako-san.
sharpening technique is very good. Very, very good. However, there are masters here that we can possibly look for to help you with furthering your sword care.
Of course, that is a good point.
I believe
I
there's
haven't
a
yet
dojo.
visited the market, and I ought to with everything that's happening. You'll be fine inside the temple walls then.
Yes.
Don't leave without me. I'll be back shortly.
I will be here to offer my prayers.
And with that, she's gone.
If I can, I think Akari will kind of walk up as that interaction is coming to a close just very quietly and say, Masako-san.
Yoko-san, I mean, Yoko-san.
You're
He
here to compete,
bows.
I take it.
Yes, I am here to represent Phoenix Clan as well as the Asako family. It is a high honor to see you here. I didn't realize you were going to be here this.
Pleasure's all mine, and as I believe, if my eyes do not deceive me, that you and I are perhaps two of a kind. And she'll kind of look at towards the temple.
Indeed. I suppose we can walk the same path to a certain extent, although I will be saying my prayers in a different order, as is clan right.
Of course.
How was your journey here? I did notice that you were with a couple of members from some of the, though I did not get a good look at their banners as Doji-san was present, and they had taken us under their wing, so to speak.
You see her kind of ever so slightly expression, like her lips just tighten ever so slightly at the mention of Doji-san. But it's like gone as soon as it's there. Yes, I had the pleasure of meeting Hida Danzo of the Crab Clan and Toritaka Kazumaru of the Falcon Clan.
Falcon Clan. I remember, it was some time ago. I had met a member from Falcon, though I'm certain it's not the same person that you traveled with. They were rather sneaky.
Sneaky?
Very swift on their feet.
Good to keep in mind.
Indeed.
And you're sure, you say, it couldn't be the same? Why is that?
Well, it's been a while. I think it was a couple of years ago. And I think at the time I was in the marketplace doing some errands within within some town. Sensei brought me there, so I don't even recall the name.
Very well. I trust that you enjoyed your travel. The company of
My Yojimbo Shiba-san is marvelous. They are going to be representing the Bushi at this tournament, I believe. So they have taken it upon themselves to also be bodyguard for myself. But that is neither here nor there. I do hope that you have a very good time here at the tournament as well, and I hope we can meet each other in a more comfortable place.
Of course. Forgive me for speaking plainly, but you do sound as if perhaps you feel a bit confined by your entourage. If you should need a moment of peace, do come find me.
I may take you up on that honor. It would be with great pleasure.
Shall we then?
Indeed.
All right. And the two of you continue through the up the white marble steps you see the 7 Tori, and you're led to big arched iron twin doors as you enter the temple. And I think we'll, just to make sure, because we also have our Miramoto friend as well here, right? So we'll say like in enters you, just behind them, sort of thing.
You know, for a crane village, this temple is amazing. Didn't expect them to build such good structures here.
Miramoto-san.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said that out loud. I'm sorry, how are you today?
Wonderful. I don't believe we've been acquainted yet. I've heard
No,
your
I'm
name,
sorry.
but that is all.
Oh, sorry, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Miramoto Kazumi. It's a pleasure to meet you. At your service. He gives you a bow. Both of you a bow.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Asako Mayumi.
Yoko Akari. Good to make your acquaintance. And good to see another here at the temple.
Well, of course, it's always the first place to stop in when you enter a new town.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay. I'm going to check in with each of you real quick. We're going to go one at a time. We'll start with our Scorpion friend first.
Yes.
What is your intention? What is your desire from this visit to the shrine? Is it simply to pay the standard respects to the fortunes, or did you have other motives, perhaps?
I came here with the intention of paying respects to the fortunes, but seeing at least 2 of my fellow competitors have accompanied me, this is also a great opportunity to get to know them. Know your enemy.
Indeed. Why don't you go ahead and give me a courtier roll if you have courtier, or awareness?
Yes,
if you
I do.
don't. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That's a pretty good roll. So spending a bit of time here, you would observe as you saw the Shiba Sukune run off in the other direction. It doesn't take you long kind of get the sense that though Phoenix Sun is a Sako family, it appears by the way in which they move and interact here that they are Isawa trained. So they would be an Isawa Shigenja. You are familiar as a Shigenja yourself. There aren't a lot of Shigenja schools in Rokugan, like 1 per clan or occasionally 2. But the Isawa are, the Phoenix are the most sort of renowned for Shugenja, and the Isawa among them are in most cases. It is said that they are without deficiency. They have no weakness within the 5 rings. From your studies of the Miramoto, you see no signs of tattoos. That's a clear indicator that they are not of the Tagashi. You can also tell, given their reverence for their peace-tide daisho, that they are in fact likely a bushi, and that would suggest Miramoto bushi. The Miramoto bushi are renowned for using a unique stance, one that requires both swords, the katana and the wakizashi, in each hand. it is literally the same stance that Miyamoto Musashi. Did I get that right? Yeah, right. Book of Five Rings. Yes. Okay. That Miyamoto Musashi in real life. Ninten, right? Stance. So they are amongst some of the best swordsmen in the land. Is there anything else? I think you already know this. The dragon, just from their mannerisms, they seem to say what comes to their mind, though not always say as brashly or offensively as the crab are known to do, or the unicorn are known to do. It seems to be more out of a pureness than what you might see from the others. There's no disdain when they say it. And is there anything that stands out for your character, someone who would be observing rather courtly, like someone who's very skilled at doing so?
He seems to move very casually.
Gotcha. And what about Jim of Revan? What about your character?
I thought Rie was saying something.
Oh, I was just. So could you repeat, Matt?
He moves very casually, almost like water as he slides across the ground.
Is there anything for Jim of Revan? Is there anything about your character that stands out for someone who is very apt at seeing the little mannerisms in people?
She would very much notice that Miramoto stands with confidence, very confident in their stance, and she would pick that up right away. She would probably pick up that he is a warrior of some sort, though she doesn't know what type of warrior. And she would just recognize that this is a warrior, someone who is used to defending or sword or way. She'd also notice that yoga.
Sorry.
Yoga-san. Oh, sorry.
Let me back that up. I'm curious about for your character. Is there anything about your character that that Ray's character would pick up on? Are there any mannerisms that are real obvious, or hicks, anything like that?
If Akari was coming up from behind my before coming, like once she saw that the Yojimbo was away, she would have noticed like she already pointed it out in the conversation, the marked relaxation of "girl near me" kind of situation. And it's nothing. I mean, and she would tell that it's nothing malicious. It's more so she has been traveling this with one person, and they only talked about one topic for duration of the travel, apart from the basic necessities or basic conversation. One thing they would notice about Mayumi would be that the moment Miramoto shows up, Mayumi just naturally just slinks towards the background, like immediately, almost like very subtly shrinks down a little bit, just so that she's not in full view of the person in front of her. And she would just shrink down a little bit to just kind of keep her distance almost.
Right. I'm going to check in with All Things Fantasy next. What is your character's primary intention from visiting the shrine?
He's going to thank for the magnificent journey they had. He's going to wish for luck for the upcoming tournament, and he's wanting to get like a sense of like the village or the city of the town, like see what the population are like what's the general vibe of the civilians here.
Okay. Yeah, you say that the temple is not. There are quite a few commoners that are in fact here and paying reverence within the temple. So you notice that. You observe that a lot of the people here are just very simple in ambition, let's say. They're happy with the comings and goings of the everyday. And it seems like the samurai that would stand over these lands, you've seen everything from your own lands where common folk are treated rather well to the Kodo lands where looking at a lion the wrong way can get you murdered, right? So this place would resemble more like home, even though it's quite a bit different.
That is a second positive tick for the Crane clan.
All right. And while you're in the temple, is your focus on observing anything or prayer or meditation?
Probably meditation. Getting his mind in order. Getting ready for the tournament coming up.
Go ahead and give me a meditation roll. Yeah, 37's okay.
37.
That's decent. So here is the one trick with the game, though. If you want like extra things and you know you're really good at something, you can always call for a raise, and that'll increase the quality. So the number can pinball up to 100, and all raises you don't necessarily get anything out of it, anything extra. But that's for later. That's not important for now. What you as you meditate, you find yourself almost unaware and yet fully aware of your surroundings. Like you know exactly where the others are, but your concentration is not on them. And you finish your meditation completely prepared and confident for the day ahead. You will get a free raise on one roll of your choice later today at any point. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
we will go to our Phoenix friend now, Jim Revan. Is there anything what is your focus while in the temple? Yes.
Obviously prayers to the Seven Fortunes for a good show at the tournament. They would meditate, and they would also use their understanding of the spirit realms to try to connect with those spiritual ancestors, to ensure that nothing untoward happens while she's representing the clan here.
Give me a meditation roll. Okay. You feel very locked in, very much calm and at peace. And then all of a sudden, you hear cries and screams. The sound of a sound you've unfortunately heard before. The sound of men just about to die, men who have been slain with katanas. You hear the sound of a great fire, almost like a bonfire. The sound of arrows, not some one or two archers, but perhaps archers in an army. You hear the arrows whistle through the air, and the cries of soldiers as they're struck with them. Your heart begins to beat faster, and you know something is wrong. I need you to make yeah, you don't have that. Let's start with a willpower roll. The target number for this is 20.
Can we raise that?
You want to do a raise on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do I
I'll
raise
warn
it?
you, a 20 is higher. I will warn you. But
Okay.
you can give her a try.
How do I raise that?
Okay.
On
All that
the
means is it doesn't matter because it's a target number. So
Okay.
your target number was 20. Now it's 25. Okay. No at all. So the condition here was how you react when you break free from this vision, this omen that you feel, and a 12 would suggest not very good. So how would you like to narrate this? What does this look like? How does she come to? Because it's probably rather startling to anyone that's meditating around her.
Miami always starts from water to earth to wind, flame, and then void. She's sitting in front of the flame as she's in the midst of this meditation. The moment she's locked into that vision, anyone around her would notice that the fire spirit or whatever, if there was some sort of fire spirit within the flames, the fire spirits would dance up. They would rise up, and it would be a much greater flame than what started. And then it would burn back down to normal once she gets out of there. And she would be visibly shaken.
Okay. And visibly shaken how? So do you faint? Do you get up and cry out loud? Do you, what is the dramatic response? So the willpower test is to see how well you're handling it, and you're handling it well.
Since she's not handling it so well, she would gasp. And it would be almost like if you ever had break out into a cold sweat, that's the expression on her face. And her hands are shaking. Like completely shaking. She's not speaking or anything, she's in complete shock.
I don't think I even need either of you to roll to see this. You you aren't the only ones in here now trying their best not to stare at Miami.
I think that Akari would go over to her quietly and she would say out loud, "Do you mind if I pray beside you?"
I believe I will take my leave for the market. I must find my Yojimbo.
Okay.
Thank you for the offer.
Of course. She'll kind of give her a look, tilt her head slightly, but, motion to let her leave.
Miami will bow, and then she will walk towards the void, which was the final spot, and bow and give offering of thanks for some truth before escaping out of there. And both of you that she is stumbling over her feet before she walked with purpose out of the temple without saying a word.
Before we
Akari?
go any further, I'm going to get both of you to make a theology. Not Miami, because Miami's kind of broken and not able to interpret, everything yet at the moment. But the two of you might have some sense of this.
Theology, you said?
Correct. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, I think for our Scorpion Shugenja, you have heard of visions granted by the fortunes. I think that you haven't had a lot of experience with them. You've never had one, so maybe there's some doubt that it happens all that often. You know, that could be like someone faking being slain in the spirit, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like that could be like, oh yeah, that was. If you have any suspicion of her, that could have been acted or portrayed. But the dragon are no strangers to such theological concepts. You've heard and seen many of the Tagashi monks, the tattooed monks, that have in fact, received visions, and in fact, your very clan champion seems to kind of go off that same. Many predict that's why he often seems to be right about things that he has no right of being, is because he is in tune with the fortunes.
Would I be able to send one of my entourage to keep an eye on her? To keep an eye on Mayumi? Just to make sure that she's all right?
Absolutely. Before we close the scene, do the two of you want to say anything to?
I was just going to say that Akari would wait a little bit. And if she was fairly certain that she wasn't being carefully watched, she would follow Mayumi out from a distance.
Mm-hmm. You're going to try and tell her at a distance. Well, when we leave this scene, why don't you go ahead and give me a stealth roll for blending in. Yeah.
Mayumi getting tailed by two people.
I think your tail is probably a little more obvious, though, in the attempt to find her and make sure she's okay.
A little bit, yeah.
All right. We will cut over to the next scene now. Just want to check in and make sure this one is at the dojo. It will include Yuna. What about the rest who are not part of the temple scene? You can't be here if you're a part of the.
Takashi will attend. It's important to size up the competition and show off the lion's strength.
What about Batu? I think it was the only person I didn't see. Everyone else thumbed up.
I'm not sure. It all depends on how long it takes for him to find a cozy place to set up his yurt.
Okay, if you want to put that on pause, I can do a scene where Mayami runs into you next. That is an option.
Sure. What I had in my head is since he's alone, his main priority is getting his yurt set down and then making sure that he finds food. So he go out hunting.
Or would you go to the market? There are unicorn tradesmen in the market.
Probably hunting since he's alone and he's kind of, not so happy that the rest of the unicorns didn't,
Okay. Well, regardless, I think we'll still give that encounter because most of the things that happen solo off screen. So, we'll start first with the dojo scene then. We'll lead in with who we sort of referred to before, which is Yuna and the Gray Crane. Let me just find. So it's here that a number of the youth can be seen training. It's not anything you're unfamiliar with, being a crane. It is impressive, nonetheless, for such a small town. But as you kind of move in further, Toshimoko says, Yuna. And then she motions, and you see a young Kakita, or young crane with a Kakita mon on, move over to you, and he bows. He's got a very young looking face. He says, this is Kakito Saburo, your ally in the upcoming Topaz tournament.
He will bow. It's a pleasure.
I heard you were traveled all the way from Otosan Uchi for this.
Of course. What better place to take one's Gempukku?
Was the Imperial capital treating you well? I hear it's very pretty. I haven't gone that far north yet.
Oh, it is lovely. Truly the jewel of the crane's feathers.
Is there anything you want to say here to either of them before I bring in the other Bushi who are traveling here?
I think she will look around. Are they going through their kata?
Yeah. And there are some that are actually like, there's probably some that are also sparring. So they're going through the Ujutsu strikes on each other with bokken. So not with real swords, with wooden swords.
She'll turn, and you said that he was the champion that would be fighting, or just my equal in age?
You're equal in age, and sort of suggestion that the other contestant from the crane is the suggestion.
Oh. Who would you say is your second competition? Outside of you, of course.
Well, as far as swordsmanship goes, I'm most fearful of the Akodo or reverent, rather, of the Akodo Bushi and the Miyamoto Bushi. They are, after all, our competitors in some ways. The others may be trained in Kenjutsu, but I doubt they're capable as we are in Ujutsu.
Well, if you are as trained as I would assume you are, being our representative, you'll strike first, and that's all you'll need.
Strike first. That's what we're known for.
Quite so.
And with that, in enters, let's see, we had Kodo Crab and a Kodo Crab and Falcon walk into the dojo.
Are the three of us walking in together?
That is up to you. You can.
I think for Akodo, for Takashi's, it makes sense probably if he was the first to step in before he turns around and sees the crab and the falcon, of which he would immediately look towards Danzo and would go, Ida-san.
Takeshi-san. I know it's Akodo, but...
Yeah. He kind of switches for a moment, but then kind of goes, no, this is a crab I'm talking to be expected. It has been some time. I hope you have been well.
Yes, as well as I can be. It is enjoyable to see you here.
As it is to see you as well.
I should like to make an introduction. Kazumaru. Sorry. Toritaka Kazumaru. Kazumaru, this here is a good friend of mine. We know each other from a while back, spent a few weeks in each other's accompaniment, and as far as lions go, well, this one would be quite prideful. The pride of the
Indeed.
clan.
Akodo Takashi, it is a pleasure to meet you, Toritaka-san.
Koda-san, forgive me if I missed your name, but I am Toritaka Kazumaru. A pleasure. I've never seen one from your clan before. Forgive me, I am in awe in terms of, I understand what a great honor this is for most.
Well, I must say, I did not expect someone with such reverence, the lion, to be in the presence of Ida-san, but it is an honor to meet you.
I understand. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's different out here. I understand your clan is in charge of protecting the emperor, and Ida-san in my clan, the Crab clan and the Falcon clan are in charge of protecting the Shadowlands. I think our clans are misunderstood for most of the importance. So I thank you for kind words.
Kazumaru-san, Takeshi here has actually visited the wall and has seen the beasts beyond, just like we have.
Indeed I have. For that reason I have nothing but the greatest respect for those who stand at the wall.
Many of our clans say that, well, of his clan would say that the lion don't flinch, but I can attest that this lion indeed does not flinch.
Then you have proven yourself and earned more respect.
He bows at that and he says, well then, I suppose you have not seen much of the Crane's way of fighting.
Do Crane fight?
No, but they duel, and they seem to confuse the two.
Perhaps we can see how the Cranes fight in this dojo. Always good to keep an eye on the competition, I suppose.
Indeed. Well then, as he bows to both of them. With that, he would turn to step further in to the dojo to see what is going on.
All right. I'm gonna quickly inquire. We're gonna start with Rebecca. What is your goal coming into the dojo in this scene? Is there anything you want to accomplish?
She would want to, I think, observe the fighters and just watch them, and then just study, I think.
Okay. So you're here to be a student of it and watch. I'm gonna give you. It's gonna be a weird one.
Yeah.
You know what? There's actually, this is perfect. There's a focus under Ijutsu. So I'm going to get you to make an Ijutsu roll. And you can raise if you wish. This is simply to observe.
I think I have to.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right. Noted. And you do so. We're gonna continue on. We're gonna check in with our Akodo friend first. Lion, what would you like to do?
The lion is here to observe the competition, however, to also show off his own might, pride, and strength.
Through means of sparring, through kata?
That's a good question. I think as he is in the dojo of the crane, he would he would train like a crane. He uses kata and showing off his own skill at ijitsu.
Okay. And so if you're going to do this through kata, you'd kind of move through the drawn strike followed by the kenjutsu strikes after. Do you have a kata on your sheet?
He does. No, he is. He's ijutsu.
Yep, you can make that roll then. Yep.
All right.
So there are kata you can purchase. If you had one, I would let you just get free raises on your ijutsu strike. But yeah.
Not in this case.
And, yep.
All right. Let's go. Ijutsu. Ooh. Okay. 17.
Not the most impressive for those that do observe, but not a botch by any means. You just let's say if your goal was to show off, you feel a little rusty and tired from the road. You haven't eaten since the Matsu lands, so. But I don't think you have any blunders that would suggest that there's anyone that would laugh at that or anything of the sort. For all they know.
Go
ahead.
How often do void points come back? Replenish?
They come back, I believe it's every day you get one. We'll probably be doing every session for this game.
Okay, in that case, I would like to use one void point to reroll.
Yeah, make sure you read up on tea ceremony and meditation, because those can lead to return on unspent void as well.
Also at this point, because I forgot to mention it, would Heart of Vengeance come into this? Actually, no, it's not a contested roll. Never mind.
Yeah, if it was contested, then yes, but not uncontested.
Right. So in that case, I use that to re-roll?
No, you would simply go through the motion a second time, and this time you would use, with a. I think there should be like a use void button.
Yeah, use void button. Okay.
Yeah.
So he does it first time, and then kind of realizes that's not how he's supposed to do things, and he attempts it again. Let's go. Much better.
I will note you didn't do raises for
I didn't raise
but that's okay. Yeah, everything is precise regardless. So it's not over the top, but it's like every motion is that which a crane would do. So it's considerable enough for those watching. Like somebody, yeah. All right, we're gonna quickly move on. We're gonna go to our Falcon friend next. What's your goal from being in the dojo? Number one goal.
Kazumaru recognizes being the only Lester clan invited, ultimately traveling with the Crab clan, who he's trained with quite a bit, but uses this opportunity to perhaps show off the skills that he's learned, to perhaps gain some respect from those spectating. And so he will also follow the lead of the Lion Clan and attempt the same.
Okay, you may do so.
And if it's raised, what's the theatrics?
You can add one piece of theatrics if you have something in mind.
All right.
You can add like a thing true to it, some kind of spin on it.
Kind of spin. I think it will be so fast that it almost looked like the blade didn't leave the sheath. How about that? Does that work?
Yeah. What we'll do is suggest a failure in that case is it's so fast that it leaves your hand. Yeah.
Very good. I like that.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's quick. I think there are at this point, Kikido Toshimoko actually claps to that and says, "Well done, fucking son. Where did you learn such drawn strike?"
On the wall. And through much meditation and practice, anything is possible. Thank you for your kind words.
I can see why the crab have chosen you. With that, we cut to the crab. See what his motive is.
Donzo is not here to scope out the competition. Once he's got a face to a name, he's satisfied with that detail. Nor is he interested in withholding any of his techniques or practices. He has more of the mindset that you might know what I'm trying to do, but you won't be able to stop it. So he is going to try to make some kind of display of his raw strength, his very large stature altogether. I don't know exactly what facilities are available. He would do so with the generic respect for his surroundings, making sure that everything is clean and tidy and he's not doesn't make any foul ups.
Right? The most respectable way, and I just got to make sure that this skill still exists in the edition we're playing in, is through Tsuma. Still called Tsuma? Or is it called hand to hand or something? One sec. It doesn't matter. You either wrestling. I'm not sure what it's called in this edition. Regardless, we can wing it because you have crab
It would
hands.
be good with, I was going to say either a show of athletics or potentially with his Tetsubo, but I think the Tetsubo might cause a little too much damage in here.
Yeah, it's more like a leave someone dead on the ground kind of weapon, which is the whole point of why you use it on the wall. But hand to hand, you could most certainly find a poor crane that didn't know any better and was willing to wrestle with you if you'd like.
He would try to find someone with as close to stature as him that he could.
Okay, that's fair.
If there's anyone bigger than him, that's who he wants to go to.
There is no one bigger than you here. Batu would be the only one, but he has chosen not to be here like a sucker. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna go ahead and get you to roll. Just roll your strength and athletics. We'll say. Make an athletics roll. They got you on round 1. How do you feel about that? Keeping 2. You're
And not with-
certain you're more skilled and strong than them. They kind of pulled, they caught you off balance and ended up like hip tossing you. Do you want to get up and demand a round 2?
Absolutely.
Okay. They seem more confident to do so. So when you're ready, go ahead and give me another roll. Oh, those dice. Those dice.
It is what it is.
Those are keeping 2, by the way, and it's just my
Yeah.
dice are going off and yours aren't. You, for whatever reason, the person you faced is just getting the better of you 2 times in a row now. I think for Ahita, this is like you normally would take like losing in swords or something like that to, it's not the wall, but this is not something you can abide by. What do you do in turn?
Is what clan is my opponent from?
We will say he's a crane because there's not a lot that aren't crane here. Yeah.
Extra embarrassing.
You know what? Actually, well, we're gonna say this is actually a monk, and that's why they're tooling on you, right? Yeah. So these are. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, could Kazumaru notice this and offer some words of just to try and give a pep talk for this third bout?
You can. I will note that crabs don't tend to like pep talks, but you're more than welcome to give one to him. I think it'd be hilarious.
Well, maybe this is the time where we forged our friendship in the mountains, so Danzo will be forgiving of this. But Kazumaru very just swiftly and very quietly, sneakily, if one would say, just whisper these into his ears. The mountain does not bow to the storm. It endureth unshaken, much like the crab shell. Get him.
All right, so for this, he'll stand back up and he's going to take off his kimono all the way, and he's gonna say, "Okay, let's one more time."
TOS.
Yeah.
That's why I went back covered up again. I don't know if it really
Okay.
works out.
Yeah. You can go ahead and just to throw this out there, you could always spend a void. Gives you a whole extra dice to work with.
Gotcha. Is that one that's determined before I roll or after I roll?
Before you roll. I think it prompts in your roll, like use void, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of the checkboxes.
Oh, okay.
And you'll replenish 1 per session.
Oh, can I do emphasis too? What's that?
Emphasis, if you have it, you don't have any emphasis right now.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not one of your skills. That's much better. Okay. The monk who's quite skilled, it would be 4 in skill, 2 in strength, right? You finally are able to put them in a position where they can't use their speed against you. You learned a couple of his tricks with jujitsu, and that's probably what the skill's called. Man. So you end up being able to kind of throw him, and I say like throw, not like you actually toss him out of the ring with your strength.
Like,
he'll get up and he'll bow low
That's
to
more
you.
like it. And he'll bow back knowing that 1 out of 3 isn't a great record.
Kazumaru almost blurted out, like, showed some emotion, knowing then recognized, oh, this is a public place, so maybe hold it back.
I think Yuna's just been kind of giggling behind her fan a little bit.
All right. So let me check. That was everyone in the scene that we just did that check-in with. Okay. So we're going to continue on then to the next scene. Is there anyone that absolutely needed one more thing out of the scene? If not, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Cool.
I will add that I don't think the three of us have met Yuna, who's in the scene.
No. And
that for now, that's fine too.
I think it's fair. I kind of gave the opportunity and no one kind of jumped out. I want to X, Y, or Z person. So I'm just like, I'm like, well, they're there.
Plenty of opportunity later on. Indeed.
Yes, there will indeed be opportunity. Okay. We're gonna move next to Miami running through the market. This is not terribly far from where you first were when you entered and received your stations.
So Miami is running through the market, and she passes by where Batu has kind of set himself up a little bit.
Batu looks like he's just about to leave on his horse. Batu, you turn around and you see I'm not even going to make you roll. You see one of the Phoenix. It looks like Shugenja, by the way they're dressed in their robes. They're kind of moving swiftly past you. I think you suggested, and your character had like a bit of almost like that sweat or that paleness in their face, like the clamminess you get from waking up from a bad dream, that sort of thing. Is that fair?
Sure.
And Batu, you turn to see them kind of passing past you towards the market.
He'll step up. He was about to get on his horse and right away, but he'll hold off on that, and then he'll move towards Mayumi, and it's everything well.
Mayumi is taken aback. All kind of scary-looking mountain of a person steps into view, and she kind of jolts back really quickly. I don't know if I need to make a rule for this, but I kind of want to do a really cool athletic, like she steps back and then she kind of forward flip, maybe? I don't know. Parkour her way over his head.
Are you trying to get past him? Is that why?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
But she'll like she's just
he's on horseback, I think, though, right now. Yes.
Oh, okay.
No?
I wouldn't say that he's on horseback. It's more like he was about to get on his horse to go out.
Okay.
And then he saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
I would suggest that such a feat might end disastrously for you. To be like, you can do so. It's going to be an athletics roll, and it's going to come with an automatic, probably 2 raises to do something as fancy as like front flipping over someone or something. But you could do it.
Then retrack, because I want to make sure I do well on roll. So far, I've had only one good roll, and it gave me a very amazing vision.
Yeah.
So powerful, so awesome. Then what she'll do, she'll take a step back really quickly, and like it's if you've ever like Roadrunner style halt, move back a little bit, and then she'll pause and she'll bow, and then she'll say, pleasure to meet you. I need to move around you to get to where she needs to go, because she did clock where Sheba had run towards, even though she was going to the temple, she did clock where Sheba.
Is there? Because we have met before, like way back. Is there something that I should roll maybe to perhaps know that it's her, or?
Yeah.
How little were you? How young?
I'd say this was 4 years ago, if that makes sense.
So you would have still been like over 10. I think you would recognize one another now that you're at close. Maybe Miami doesn't because you're mentally taxed right now, but I'll leave that to you, your discretion, Miami. But Batu, I think you know automatically, like now that you're in close proximity.
He'll, you know, I think him being alone, he'll go like a second of your time. Just take a breather.
Okay. I took a breather.
Right. I believe we have met in, funnily enough, a very familiar setting. That my that we had just rode into a marketplace. The old lady carried stuff. She fell. You helped. I was maybe.
Oh, you're the old lady's guardian.
Uh,
Yeah, you were that kid. Oh. Uh, sorry. It's a pleasure to meet you. Do you mind if I? Oh, do I recognize that he's wearing unicorn, like something?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um.
You all present with such, unless you choose not to, Batu. That'd be shameful.
he is 100% wearing all of he's wearing both moto garments and the unicorn colors.
So you know in anime how they have like the weird drums when somebody
Yeah.
realizes something.
Yeah.
So her eyes are gonna go to the first thing, and then there's the drum sound. Second thing to make them see like the unicorn thing, another drum sound, and then they'll see other thing for the unicorn symbol, like the unicorn behind them, and third drum sound, and she's gonna go, oh, this could be a diplomatic problem if I don't show up properly. Um, um, okay. So she's gonna straighten up and bow and become all of a very sudden Tomoto, very proper, like very proper. And they will say, "It is a pleasure to meet you, Unicorn. My
As she's bowing,
apologies for."
he already had his hand out, and then he looks around with his eyes, and then bows as well. It's like, right, that's how we do things.
And then, noticing that his hand is out, she will shyly, like while she's bowing, reach out with her hand. So it's like multiple, like bow and a hand forward. Because
Um,
she has read Unicorn Customs at some.
he is more than happy to grab her forearm and give him a like a firm handshake. Like to the point that he might be shaking her form. Um, and he goes like, "Oh, perfect. This is great. Okay. Well, uh, how have you been? How are things? Is everything good?"
Disheveled, fully disheveled. Um, but she will say, "You are rather strong, Unicorn. Uh, I am well. I am looking for my Yojimbo this moment. The last time I spoke with her, she said that she was going to. So I do apologize I couldn't speak. further with you. However, that is where I'm headed. And in
Miami?
case
You see Sukune.
Shiba-san.
What?
Huh.
She's heading. You can tell she's starting to head back to the temple, and she raises her brow and says, "I thought I asked you not to." Oh, Moto-san.
Right.
I was just on my way back to the temple to see Asaka-san.
Miami now very firmly in a very position. Shiba-san, this is Unicorn-san. Unicorn-san, this is my Yojimbo, Shiba-san. Amazing warriors.
Your mic is just kind of not picking up some of your words there. Sorry.
Is this better? So basically, I'll just summarize. She's just introducing Shiba to Moto and Moto to Shiba, as is proper. And she will also that because they're not together and alone, kind of, and they're not with Raj per se. She will just start complimenting Shiba Sukune in front of Moto, extolling all of her virtues, just to kind of get out of any awkward tension with Shiba before she's obviously talked to her about she.
Yeah. Okay. Give me an etiquette roll, not to make this awkward.
So what happens if I don't have that as a
If you don't have
skill?
an etiquette, you click the unskilled button when you roll. So what you can do simply is just roll in the little public roll area, and you can write what is. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what to roll. You're going to roll 3K3. So just write 3K3, nothing else around it, no slash roll, just 3K3 and hit enter. That's not bad. Yeah, it comes off a little rambly, like a tiny bit of over apologetic, but it doesn't come off as a divergence of anything. And Sakune says, "Oh, it's not necessary." Asaka-san, well met, Morobushi. I hope you are enjoying your time here. Though it looks as if you're just about to leave.
Yes. Batu is just fine, and he'll give a little courtesy, extend his hand as well. Yeah.
She doesn't accept it. She just nods her head.
He'll bring back his hand, and in his head go like these fucking lands. And yeah, towards Mayumi, as I think he's moving towards his horse at this point, and he'd go towards Mayumi. Thank you. It's very good to see you again. Just do stay safe for now, and if I do get what I want to get, I shall be inviting you and yours to a feast.
For a moment, there's a flash of that it crosses Mayumi's eyes as she gazes towards Shiba to Sakune, like, what is the proper protocol? And then she reminds herself, I'm in a tournament with other champions, and then she'll go, it would be a pleasure to gain more understanding of your clan's ways.
Alright. Yes. I'm
You
sure.
enjoy your ride, Moto-san.
But thank you. And he'll make his way out of the town.
Sakune, the moment Batu leaves, Sakune looks at Mayami and says, I thought I asked you not to leave the temple until I arrived back. How am I to protect you if you're missing?
I understand. I saw an omen in the flames.
At this point, the camera pans over, and we see a less obvious commoner, who it was amongst the dragon, just kind of keeping an eye out. And then further behind him, probably closer actually, because we had a stealth roll within a crowd not too far from this encounter. See our Yogo Shigenja eavesdropping. You can make just a flat perception roll, Rie, and we'll see if that how much you're able to catch out of this. What sort of omen?
The one that I require your assistance. More private quarters than obviously in the pub, but it was enough for me to flee the shrine to look, because that's what I was attempting to do.
Well, let's return to your quarters. We can talk there.
Thank you. And she will follow. She will walk towards the quarters, but in the manner that is as.
Oh, you're cutting out again a lot.
Ah.
Yeah, it's okay. We're
Okay.
I think I picked up on what you're done, because we're gonna scene change away from that anyways. So that's perfect. For Rie, you caught those words. What were said? An omen. They were going somewhere private to speak. So it sounded like to her quarters. Which would be pretty hard to eavesdrop on. Yeah.
Right. Akari would, hearing this, probably go to find her mother.
Okay. We are nearing the closeout for the session, so I'm going to go ahead and skip forward a little bit. I'm going to ask, we'll kind of do that meta RP. What are you hoping to seek in out of your communication with your mother on this one?
She would tell her that the Phoenix Clan representative saw an omen and was shaken by it, and would ask if there was anything she should look out for in particular.
She tells you our daimyo would be most interested in any omen. It is, after all, our duty to ensure that the Emperor and the Empire are looked after.
Perhaps this could be what we've been preparing for.
That would be one conclusion.
I will see what more I can find.
Okay. And we're going to just quickly narrate over something that occurs. All of you, as you kind of settle into your busy day, it was already afternoon by the time you arrived here. It's moving into the evening. All of you are able to meet with the folks from your inn, and then I'd encourage you to put in some requests for scenes for the next session. But at the end of the night, one additional thing that I want to make sure I cover. Tomorrow midday will be the ceremony, the start of the ceremony. So the first set of events will be 2 days from now. Tomorrow, each clan is expected to present in the ceremony with some kind of formal. Think of this as the Harry Potter moment. Each of the comes up and was that Goblet of Fire? No, what was the name of that one? Goblet of Fire. Did I get that one right? I don't remember.
The tournament stuff.
Tournament one, yeah.
Yeah.
So each of the groups is meant to formally kind of give some kind of performative representation of their clan. So you have a whole week to think about what you might suggest, given of course, your limitation. For the guests, you don't have a lot of work other than to assist the clan that's sponsoring you, because you don't have a So for Batu, you would aim to assist the dragon. For our falcon friend, you'll be aiming to assist the crab. But we're gonna end with one minor scene. So Akari, as you move to your room at night, having already been in your chambers before, you see a shadow move as you go to settle in. You know you're not alone.
She immediately... Who's there?
You see a man step out of the shadows, garbed in all black, his face wrapped. I'm not here to harm you. I'm here on orders from the clan champion.
Very well. What are your orders?
The second contestant will be arriving tomorrow. You are to ensure they make it through Gempukku by any means necessary.
I understand. Is that all?
Shoju wishes you to know that this effort would mean a great deal to him personally. It is his son, Baishu Dairu, after all.
Of course. Consider it done.
He nods, and you see the figure move out the window so quick it's like it's hard to even track his movement. It's like the wind. But that's nothing unique for you, is it? Yeah. All right, and with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and bring it to a close. All of you, anything you succeeded at tonight, you can consider spending experience points on. You'll get 3 additional experience for the session. If you didn't get a chance to succeed on something, normally what I'll be doing is closing out with montages that didn't have time tonight. So you can post your montage to me, and then we can go over any in the next session. I hope you all had fun, and viewers, I hope. Once again, we stream on several different channels here. Cleansing Rain has his own channel. We have Gem of Revan with their own channel. We have a group of us that play in games in the Cat's Meow as well. On my channel, Taking Time Bob, we have Mortal Rolls, Tone and Rie. and then we have all things fantasy. So I encourage you all to check everybody out there. Follow us, like us, and if you're watching this on YouTube, well, we'll have everything posted in the doobly-doo below. So check it out. Thanks all.